As we get closer to Friday's 4th of July holiday, families might be planning parties. Some of them might be near the pools. And it is an important time right now to address the safety measures that adults need to take to prevent potential drownings. Dr. Stephen Predibon joins us from Mercy Health with some important advice for all of us. Doctor, according to some statistics in the state of Ohio, between 2019 and 2023, 93% of drowning deaths were considered preventable. So what should parents prepare for if they know their little ones are going to be near the water or playing in the pool?
Sure. I think the number one thing is always just have eyes on, whoever is going to be in the water. At least designate someone in your party or friend group to make sure they're keeping an eye on the kids in the water and kind of be aware of the different type of situation you're into. That might be different if you're at a home pool or a friend's pool, or if you're at a lake or beach or something like that. It might be advisable to seek out the lifeguard stand or something where there's another adult that's aware of people that are in the pool too.
Yeah, especially as some kids are still learning to swim or they're wearing floaties because they're not there yet. Aside from drownings, you were telling us that there are some water accidents and immediate others that are delayed. What is considered an immediate emergency?
Right. So you always want to, if you notice someone in the water who isn't responsive, or you're worried that they haven't been watched and are coming out of the water and they're not breathing, they're not responding to you, you kind of try to make them more alert, jolt them. And if someone isn't responding, no one has a pulse, and there's no breathing that you're able to see, that's an emergent situation. And the proper thing to do in that instance is call help 911 and start CPR if there's someone by who knows how to do that or is qualified to do it.
What's a common delayed accident or emergency when it is related to activity in the water?
So sometimes we think of delayed issues. I think some people refer to it as dry drowning or delayed drowning. Sometimes kids can swallow a lot of water or even get water into the lungs while they're playing, splashing, maybe jumping in and out of the water, and we don't realize at the time. But later during the day, we're starting to see signs of respiratory issues, whether they're starting to get short of breath or really fatigued, or maybe in some severe cases noticing like changing color of their skin or something like that. So you have to be on the lookout for things happening even hours after if the situation is appropriate and presents itself that way.
And doctor, would they develop maybe even a cough? Is that something to watch for?
Yes, you could look out for cough, wheezing, telling you they're short of breath, even nausea and vomiting in some instances.
Yeah, dry drowning is something a lot of us moms talk about. We always are watching for the signs to make sure. We always say, don't swallow the water. It's so dangerous. When is it necessary to then seek medical attention? At what point would you call either the pediatrician or just go to the emergency room?
Emergency room is appropriate if somebody is having noticeable hard time breathing and you're not sure why, or like I said, you're starting to get those changing colors around your lips or your skin or other places like that. If you're getting coughing fits that won't stop and you're not sure why. Fever is always something that goes along with those things. Or like we mentioned before, they're a little bit lethargic or maybe not responding in the same way that they normally do. Those are good instances to go to the emergency room. Contact your pediatrician or your primary care provider if you have a cough that's kind of maybe usual for your child, or it's been something that's lingering for a few days. But whenever we're talking about being around the water and potentially getting water in the lungs or drowning or something like that, always err on the side of caution. It's never inappropriate to go to the emergency room if you're worried about breathing.
Real quick, what can people do in an emergency while they're waiting for the medical personnel to get to the scene? Should they do CPR? Should they know it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyone who has a pool, or if you spend a lot of time around areas where your children swim, like I said, lakes, beaches, or if you have a personal pool, knowing CPR has been shown to save lives in so many instances and circumstances that it's so good to familiarize yourself with that.
Great medical advice. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you for taking the time to join us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.